Hey guys, it's Sifu Delmar of the Northern Shaolin School of Kung Fu, and today we're going to go over external empty hand and weapons forms. So, real quick, this is obviously something that the Fall Classic has. Queen Charlotte's Cup also has this as well. So we just want to highlight a few things so you guys understand how we need things judged at the tournament. So, first thing that we want to emphasize is that we're going to have 3 different divisions. We have our beginner, intermediate, and we also have our advanced. And Trevor's going to go over in just a second the differentiations of the scoring ranges and things like that. Later on in this video, you're going to see an example of how things are judged. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, or you can obviously email us at cacmafallclassic@gmail.com. And thank you for watching this video.
What is a beginner, intermediate, and advanced student? For each of these divisions, we have beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Beginner is anyone from 0 to 2 years of experience. Intermediate is anywhere between 2 to 4 years of experience, and then advanced is 4 and above. And then the scoring ranges for both of those are, so our scoring range, we use 6.0 to 9.99. For beginner, the scoring range is 6.0 to 7.5. Intermediate is 7.0 to 8.5, and then advanced is 8.5 to 9.99. And then, even though we're talking about empty hand, I'm also going to go over just some of the stuff about the weapons. For our teen and adult competitors that are in the advanced category, we have broadsword, straight sword, spear, and staff all separated in their own category. So staff will compete with staff, broadsword, broadsword, spear with spear, straight sword with straight sword. We also have another category that's called other. Other is anything that isn't one of the first 4 that I just mentioned. So Quan Dao, Hu Dao, double weapons like double broadsword, butterfly swords, stuff like that, chain whips, rope darts, that type of stuff. Let's see. For kids divisions and some of the intermediate and beginner teens, we are only going to be doing long weapon and short weapon, so all that will be just combined into one category.
And beginner adult and intermediate adult.
You are correct, beginner adult and intermediate adult. Advanced adults and teens are the only ones that will have that distinct separation between each individual weapon for whatever category it is. Let's see. Also, real quick about weapon drops. If a competitor drops their weapon but continues to move in a martial way toward their weapon, retrieves it, and then continues to form without interruption, then there will be no mandatory point deduction. However, if someone drops it and then has to restart, there will be a 0.10 point reduction from their overall score, and that is what the head judge will take off. So everyone else will score as is. Once the final score is tallied, you will then add, if I'm the head judge, I will then take off that 10th of a point.
So a few things that we want to reiterate. So if you have a competitor that restarts, that person will have their score deducted by the head judge. So let's say somebody's competing and they mess up and they want to restart. Do not take off, the corner judges will not take off for that. The corner judges are going to score as they always do, and then the head judge will be the one deducting from that overall score. So make sure you make notice of that. A few things that you want to do when you get your ring, make sure that you ask people like, hey, make sure you know their names. And especially for our advanced divisions, we want to make sure that people are in the right divisions. So for our advanced judges, it is very important, or if you're judging advanced, to make sure that people are in the right divisions. That's why we make sure we have our categories separated. So if you're doing a northern form, then you need to be in the northern division. If you're not doing a northern form, then either you're in the southern division or the other division. So make sure that you're in the correct division. If you are not in the right division, you could be penalized for that. So make sure you read the rules, all right? So that's a new change that we have in the rules this year, because we're trying to make sure that everybody's judged appropriately. So what we want is we want fair judging here at the tournament. So it's important to make sure you read the rules. I will continue to reiterate that. If you're looking for the rules, go to www.kungfuforever.com fgtournaments. Look under the tab that says rules, click on that, and all the rules are there. If you have any questions, once again, leave a comment below. You'll see at the tournament that we're gonna have boundaries. You wanna make sure that your competitors stay inside of that boundary. If they need more room, they can ask for that, okay? But they have to ask before the form. So if they're in the middle of their form and they run out of space and they go out of bounds, that can be a deduction. So make sure you read the rules. So make sure that the competitors know, hey, look, these are your boundaries. If you need more space, you need to ask for it. And they need to ask before they start the form. With our judging groups, we're gonna either judge with 3 judges, 5 judges. We usually want an odd number. If we have 4 judges, that means the 3 corner judges are going to be scoring while the head judge runs the ring. So there's a possibility of that too. So 3, everybody scores. 4, the 3 corner judges score, the head judge doesn't score, and 5, everybody scores. All right, guys, so we're gonna do a quick demonstration of kind of what we want when you are doing a forms division. So right here, I have these gentlemen here who have decided to be our muses, our models. So basically, when you start your division, make sure that you line up all the competitors like you see right here, and then make sure you ask what their names are, make sure they're in the right division, and then once again, we're gonna get everybody to courtesy in because we always wanna show respect. So gentlemen, courtesy. Good job. All right, John, you're going first. Okay, you guys can go sit over there. So make sure that you have control of your ring. We want to keep this going, all right? So we want to make sure that the tournament runs efficiently. So you may have your competitors come up. They may introduce themselves, name, salute to the judges. That's fine. If we start to have more competitors, there's something that we may ask them to kind of cut out. But if they have an introduction, please let them do it. So I'm going to let John do his thing, and you guys can kind of watch. And if you look around the room here, if you're paying, we have our 5 judges here. We have our head judge. We have our corner judges. As you see, each one of them, they have a little flip card for their numbers, or you guys will be using a dry erase board to write your numbers on. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll run the first 3 competitors, and then you guys as judges will meet, talk about that, develop your scoring range, see who you develop as first, second, and third. And of course that can be, you know, subjective for all judges. You're gonna come back after those 3 and then you're gonna score it, okay? So we try to do that to kind of expedite things. So just kind of watch, you're gonna see some examples on camera over here. So I'm gonna let John go ahead and do his form and you guys can watch him.
Honorable judges, I am John Cabrier from the Northern Shaolin School. I would like to present Liam Boo. With your permission, I shall begin.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
So for demo purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and get the judges to go ahead and score him immediately so you can kind of see how that process works.
7, 8, 1, 9.
So he is a beginner. So remember our scoring range for that was 6 to 7.5. So notice that they're going to find their range, and then the head judge is gonna be the one that is gonna ensure that everybody scores. Everybody's gonna hold up their card, show their scores, and then we have our lovely timekeeper, scorekeeper here, who is going to tally everything up and give us our overall score, okay? So volunteers, so that'll be something that you're gonna do as well. So, or other judges, if we have extra judges who aren't doing something, we can use you guys to scorekeep. So watch how we do this.
Judges ready?
Ready.
Judges score 6.75, 7.05, 7.1, 6.90, 6.89 for a final score of
So now we're gonna tabulate all of that and then he'll get his overall score.
final score 6.94.
So that's beginner category. Next, we're gonna see intermediate category. So now, once again, the judges are gonna tally this up. So remember, this is an intermediate competitor, so your scoring range is gonna change. That's gonna be 7 to 8.5. So watch how the judges go again. For demo purposes, they're gonna score immediately. So remember, before, if we have these 3 competitors, normally we would want to score them all together. And normally they all would be in the same category. So watch.
Judges ready?
Ready.
Judges call 8.15, 7.98, 8.2, 8, 7.97. Final score 8.6.
Okay, so those have been a few examples of how we want the forms division judged. So again, like I said, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Read the rules, judges. It's very important. What makes a good tournament? Good judges. So you guys are super important. Okay, so make sure that you're reading the rules. Make sure that you're going through. And if you have any questions, again, leave a comment below. Shoot us an email. Hope to see you at the tournament. Okay, to reiterate weapons, when you come up and somebody has a weapon, you will do what's called a weapons check. So you're gonna look at this weapon, you're gonna make sure that it is stable, that there's no loose issues with it, or make sure all the nuts and bolts in it are tight, because we don't want anything flying off hitting people. We have seen competitors sometimes not take care of their weapons, and then sometimes they will, spearheads fly off and things of that nature. So you want to make sure you check all your weapons. Make sure that it's strong. Maybe you want to fiddle with it a little bit. Make sure that it's not going to come apart. Remember, safety is the #1 overall thing that we want to have for all the competitors. We had a freak thing happen at one of the tournaments that we visited where somebody was doing a weapons form and it broke. Okay, so as the judges, if that person continues that form and they do it in a martial manner, you have to make sure you judge that appropriately. There may be a time where you have to come together as a judging group and talk about certain things. So remember, you're a judging team, and sometimes weird things happen. We can't control everything. So that could happen, so you have to be aware of that. And you need to make sure, especially when people are using long weapons, you need to make sure that people clear the area, or if they're using sharp weapons, clear the area. Make sure that you have nobody walking around your ring like that. So as people are, swinging swords or using straight swords or spears and things like that, we don't want anybody hurt. So if something weird like that happens, meet as a group, and usually your head judge will be able to navigate that, because they're usually going to be the most senior of the group.